I'm audible, right? Great. So I think you saw a picture of Triveni. I don't look like her. She was supposed to be a speaker today, but unfortunately she couldn't make it. So I'm filling in for her. So I think we had a video to play before we start. Can we have that, please?
Remember when IT was simpler? The good old days, printer jams and disk errors. Today, IT can be pretty complicated. Fragmented solutions, employees and customers all over the place, thousands of devices, and even more security risks. It's an anywhere, anyway, any device kind of world, which, if you think about it, is awesome. Introducing your GoTo, making IT easier for you anywhere. With GoTo, you can do the things you need, so you have more time to do the things you want. GoTo Connect delivers fast, easy virtual communications to keep your team and customers connected, while GoTo Resolve makes remotely accessing and supporting your employees' devices seamless and, yeah, simple. So let's do this. From streamlining calls, meetings, and messages on a single secure platform to managing thousands of devices across the globe and simplifying your help desk to fix problems quicker, which means you stay connected, boost sales, and keep customers and employees happy. And look at that happy face. That's what we like to see. And because it's all handled in the GoTo admin app, it's simple. And simple is good. So while IT has definitely gotten more complex, your IT solution doesn't have to. Discover your new GoTo.
Okay, thank you. Some happy faces there, many happy faces here. So I know we are meeting after lunch. Some of you, I guess rather most of you are feeling sleepy. What I'm going to do is, I have a presentation of some 40 slides that will make you more sleepy now, right? Okay, no, we'll not do that. I have a very short and crisp presentation. I'll be speaking not more than 15 minutes. I know a timer has already started here. So what I'm going to do today is, I'm going to cover on some trends which are emerging in the area of remote access and support. And apart from that, what we are going to do is, we'll share some trends, how the business has changed with the new normal, the new pandemic, and how business leaders like you are navigating through it. So let's get into it. I'll just, yeah. Okay. So in the starting of presentation, I mentioned, so don't look like Triveni. So myself, Sukhvinder, I manage relationship for key accounts for GoTo in India. So what, for people who don't know GoTo, so if I have to define a company in one line, we are all-in-one solution for your essential connections. So we'll dive deep more into it in the end of a presentation. But in nutshell, what I can say is, we are a company which is approximately 20-year-old organization. We are one of the top 10 global SaaS companies in terms of revenue. We are going to hit an ARR of around $1.2 billion this year. And we are in India for approximately 15 years. So that's a brief about our company. So maybe some of you have heard the name Logmain. So that's what our company was called till February of this year. So what we did is, we did some brand transformation and reorganization. And now we are called as GoTo. So we did some consolidation of our products, which again we'll briefly cover at the end of our presentation. So I was mentioning that today what we'll do, we'll just dive into some of the trends, how this pandemic has disrupted our life. So I know if we take a onset of the pandemic, which was March of 2022 as a reference point. So we have two worlds to compare. One is pre-pandemic and another one is post-pandemic, which is a mix of pandemic plus post-pandemic. And I'm an optimistic guy, so I hope there won't be any other wave. It will just be a post-pandemic now. So there have been a drastic change in the two worlds, how we operate, how we do a business, how we interact with each other personally and professionally. And I know each one of us have been navigating through these changes, both at our personal front as well as at our professional front. Many of these changes have not been so good, but some of them have been good. So I'll just share one story of mine, a positive side of a pandemic which happened with me. So I did my entire schooling, my higher education in a boarding school. So I stay in a town near Dehradun. So in standard 5th, I went to a boarding school. After that, like for 20-25 years, I never got a chance to stay with my parents for more than 4 or 5 weeks, which used to be typically summer break, which we used to get. But in the pandemic, fortunately, when this pandemic began, I was at home and I got to spend more than 6 months with my parents after like 20-22 years. that was like a blessing in disguise for me. And it has been for so many people, like people staying in Coimbatore, Shiripirambadu, Chennai, Dehradun, Chandigarh, having offices in Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai. They have an opportunity to work from home there now. And that's the positive side which this pandemic has brought on us. So we'll discuss more about it. So let's get into some of the changes which are happening around us. So if I say that we are living in a VUCA world, it won't be unfair to say it. So what I mean by VUCA is it's volatile, it's complex, it's uncertain, and it's ambiguous. So every day we are being hit by some black swan event from here or there. So if you, I just remember one interesting quote by Nassim Nicholas Taleb in his book Black Swan. So what he says is a life could be defined as a sum total of some very unexpected shocks. And it's very true. So if I ask you to maybe define your last 1 year, there won't be more than 3 or 4 very significant events which would have defined the entire course for you in that year. And same goes for a decade. There would be like 5 or 7 very significant events which would have entirely defined your course of the last 10 years for your life. And same happens with a business. So business is mostly as usual, but then there are certain very significant shocks or a black swan events which defines a complete course of our business. So some of this have been like COVID hitting us. Then while we were navigating through it, at a go we had a geopolitical crisis, Ukraine-Russia war, which led to rising fuel prices, which led to inflation, which led to central banks plugging out liquidity from the market. Again, inflation problems across the world. While we are navigating through it, other challenges hitting us is great resignation. So if you follow financial reports of the companies like in IT space, BFSI, the attrition rate, which was like 8 to 10% as a standard rate, it's as high as up to 25 to 30% right now. It's a huge number. It completely imbalances your plan about your projects, your hiring and everything. So these are certain uncertainties which keep hitting us. And with all these uncertainties, with all these changes, we have to be agile. We have to keep learning. So maybe if anyone wants to share any learning or any experience which has changed your perspective in the COVID, a show of hand, any personal or professional one, anything? Okay, I think lunch was heavy. No one wants to volunteer. Never mind. So I'll go on a professional side of things. So what this pandemic has taught us is the most essential thing in a business is to keep your customers and your employees connected and secure at all the times. You can't be dependent that they would be in office when you want them. You have to equip them. You have to make them work, be productive at any time, at any device, or from anywhere. But it's easier said than done. It comes with a lot of challenges. It comes with a lot of complexities. Be it shadow IT, be it internet problem in India in the remote places, all those things are there, which you really have to navigate through. And companies like us, GoTo, are here to help you with that. So if we take a look at some of the scenarios, how this new normal has impacted our work. So if you look at the customer side of things, so there was a study which revealed that close to 90% customers or people are looking to take their businesses elsewhere than working with a company which uses outdated technology. I'm right, 90%. It's a huge number. And we can't just take it for granted because people have options now. Same thing is with your employees. So there was again a study which shows that 6 out of 10 candidates refused for a job offer which didn't offer them a flexibility to either work from home or have a hybrid setup, like 2 days from home, 3 days from home, setup like this. If we are going to be so rigid about it, we are going to lose customers, we are going to lose on talent. So we have to be equipped with the technologies. We have to have our processes in a place where we can live up with the new expectations. These digital habits which people have acquired during COVID, they're not going to give it up. We have to live with it. So these are some of the scenarios, like people working from cars or cafes, CEO need not to be in a town and people need not to be in a hall to conduct our town halls. Now it's everywhere spread. Okay, so we talked about how the dynamics have changed, how the expectations have changed, but everything comes with its challenges. So these are some of the challenges which are listed here, which anywhere, any device, and any time work cultures brings to us. And I'm sure there would be at least more than one challenge which you would have encountered personally in your life. And each of this challenge or a lost connections leads to a lost revenue. So when we talk to millions of our customers, so some of the challenges are very, very elementary, like employee is not able to unmute himself or not able to join a meeting due to a clumsy interface or internet is not working, or to a complex scenarios where their laptop is not working at all and you don't have a tools to help them to troubleshoot it and get online. So each and every such scenarios leads to a lost revenue for you. So according to one study in US alone, in last 1 year, such lost connections led to a loss of revenue of around $1.8 trillion. That's again a humongous number. The small number adds up to such a big loss of our businesses. Okay, so we spoke about changing work dynamics, how we have to be equipped about it. So let's speak about some human element part of it. So people who are there to provide you, who are going to equip you with this setup and this hybrid work environment. So maybe now at least we can have a show of hand, people who are representing here from CIO organization, IT heads, IT managers, from IT teams. Can we please have a show of hand? Okay, either light is so heavy on me or I can't see, I can see 2 here. Okay, 3, 4, okay. Maybe around 10%, okay. I was expecting some 25, 30%, but that's okay. So I can empathize with you guys. I can tell you, every one of you, the life of IT team has become really, really very difficult post the COVID. And we'll discuss on it, how it has. So we did a survey in a partnership with Forst and Sullivan. So some of the interesting findings which we got out of that study. So it was done across the globe. We had a participant from India also. So 76% of IT leaders says that their IT workload has increased post the pandemic. And 43% say it has become more difficult. And why it is so? See, when you're working from your office or you're working from your office environment, you're working from a very secured network. You're working from assets which are approved by your IT team. You're using an office Wi-Fi network which is secure. But in a hybrid, anywhere, anytime work environment, people are working from their home. They're using their personal devices for their official work, or the official devices for the personal work, or they are using shadow IT. So what I mean by shadow IT is they are using the assets or they are using the softwares which are not approved by your IT team. And these things leads to a lot of cybersecurity challenges and a lot of risks. So I know some of you would have heard that news what happened last week with a leading vaccine manufacturer in Pune. I don't want to name, it's a public news though. So someone posed as their CEO sent a message to the finance manager asking to immediately transfer 1 crore rupees. And we have been taught so much about phishing mails, phishing messages, to be aware about it. But such messages sound so urgent, sound so genuine that you fall for it. And he transferred 1 crore rupees. Now police is investigating about it, but it's in a thin air. No one knows where it went. So it's not only about education. You need to have a proper tools. You need to have proper processes in the place to protect you from such challenges. So year 2022 has been the year of technology consolidation. It's going to be the next year also. So what I mean by technology consolidation is with glorification of so many SaaS applications, so many IT vendors. So IT teams are finding it really difficult to manage different applications, different admin consoles. So what they're doing is they're looking to have a single admin console where they can manage each and every IT applications. They can understand the usage of each application, efficiency of their entire team. So that's again something which GoTo can help you to do that. So it's again one statistic. So out of the total responded, 95% said that either they are planning for or they are in the process of or have completed the technology consolidation. So these are some of the top trends which are shaping the tech support industries. I'll quickly cover on that. One is your supply chain disruption. The other one is your consumer digital habits. And the lastly is the great resignation. Supply chain disruption. I think every one of us came across it during the COVID. We couldn't ship the laptops to the people who started working from home. Or right now also, you are not having a proper devices available due to a shortage of a conductor chips. So we have to learn to live with the means we have. So we need to have a tools where we need not to call the people or we need to call the assets back to the office if they have damaged to repair, but we can remotely do it. We spoke about consumer digital habits, right? The habits which people picked up in the pandemic, they don't want to give it up. They want you to adapt to that. You want to go to their instead of they coming to your branches, instead of they coming to your retail outlets, they want you to provide them same service while they are at the comfort of their living room. We spoke about great resignation. So 25-30% is an average attrition which is happening in the companies. But if you talk specific about the support team, support desk or engineering team, this attrition rate is as high as up to 80%, which is again a huge number. So you need to have a tools in a place which are easy to use, which makes the life of your support team easy, and which are quick to learn and adapt. So some final slides. So in the starting, I mentioned that if we have to define GoTo in one line, we call ourselves as a all-in-one solution for your essential connections. So what I mean by essential connections is, it's your essential business communication and it's your essential IT support. So in business communication, it is your teams, meetings and everything. And in the support, it includes your access and endpoint management. So we are a company which is there for more than 20 years. We are proud to have products which work on a zero trust architecture. We have 99.999% of the uptime and 24/7 dedicated support. And we have a very vast network of our channel partners and distributors across the globe, across India, to service you at anywhere, at any point. So like I was mentioning, in the starting of this year, when we did a brand reorganization and transformation, it was not just changing our name from LogMe into GoTo, but we also did a entire consolidation of our products. So if you look at this slide, so we have a product in two categories now. One is on GoTo Resolve and another one is GoTo Connect. So GoTo Resolve is your essential IT support tool, which provides you a tool on a single powerful GoTo app from which you can do a remote access, you can do a remote support, you can have a visual engagement, you can even have a conversational ticketing, and entire thing is end-to-end encrypted, 256-bit encryption. We uses our secure protocol, secure architecture, and a complete audit trail and audit logs which you get for your sessions. Talking about GoTo Connect, again available on a single powerful GoTo app, having your training capabilities, having your meetings, your phones, and your webinar capabilities. And both GoTo Resolve and GoTo Connect are available on a single powerful GoTo app, which I was talking about, a vendor consolidation. So in single powerful app, you can access both the solutions at a one go. So these are some of our customers who trust us in their journey. I know we have some of the customers, some of the brands in this room also, but unfortunately due to policy issues and all, we couldn't use their logos. But then yeah, we are here to help you. We have so many customers in a BFSI space in India who are trusting on us both for their collaboration needs as well as for their remote access and remote support needs. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for your time. We have a booth outside. I have met some of you, would like to meet with all of you. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you.